these flare stacks tend to be pretty inefficient.
Yeah.
It seems like every time we learn more about methane, it's always bad news.
Yeah, so what are you seeing on the audit side? What are they typically looking for there?
Yeah, it's fascinating. So with conventional energy sources, whether they be fossil or renewable, there's already accounting mechanisms to determine whether or not something is clean, not clean, what does clean energy procurement look like, whether it be a REC or a PPA, what have you. Because this technology is so novel, it's so new, there literally does not exist an accounting convention. So on the flip side, though,
So everybody's making it up as they go along.
So yeah, we're kind of like building, I hate to use the term, but building the plane as we fly it.
Yeah.
But so we're going to be working with a third party that can use various, whether they be sensor instruments, IoT, even satellite data. The Environmental Defense Fund is launching a satellite, I believe next year, that's going to be able to have granular methane emissions data across, oil fields. So we'll be basically showing this is what the methane emissions were before, or this is what the average emissions is for a particular oil field or basin. We now throw on some Bitcoin miners onto the flare stack. We're avoiding those methane emissions. We can calculate the delta, and that'll tell us how much CO2 equivalents we're actually reducing. So I know that in 2022, Crusoe, for example, I think they mitigated something like 500,000 tons of CO2 equivalents just by reducing methane emissions in these oil fields.
It really is. The amount of work that they put into the space. And I think Coley was running through at the Empower conference, running through what, all of the measurements that they use, the miles on the trucks that they're doing, just the granularity of all the data that they're putting together over there is it's impressive.
Yeah, they're like data scientists. I mean, Chase, Cully, the whole team, they're incredibly sophisticated. And actually, one of the benefits of applying this technology to the oil and gas industry is that it's been around for so long, is that there's already kind of like accounting conventional technologies that you can use to measure and mitigate, emissions. So, for example, with these flare stacks, you already have to take measurements. You have to show how much you're burning. As we all know in the Bitcoin mining space at this point, these flare stacks tend to be pretty inefficient.
Yeah.
It seems like every time we learn more about methane, it's always bad news. But yeah, Bitcoin is this really just novel technology that can monetize and mitigate methane emissions, turn this waste into money, into a globally liquid currency.
People can use it and get a benefit out of it rather than just.
Absolutely.
And so do you see it as something that you guys have been doing this for how long now?
So we're actually just about at our 2-year anniversary. Okay. SPP has been around since before Elon Musk tweeted and sent the whole Bitcoin ESG world into chaos. We've been working on this cool problem.
That's great. Wait, and you guys are up to how much of the hash rate now?
So we have signed agreements with between 11 and 13% of global hash rate. We announced publicly a pilot with CleanSpark earlier this year. That was pretty exciting. We did our first pilot transaction with them. Right now, we're in the process of onboarding all these Bitcoin miners onto the platform. That means verifying their energy data, their clean energy consumption data. We're developing pool integrations. So I would say the two big items on our agenda in the coming months is how do you automate this process? How do you get miners to just basically upload the data or connect the data and then immediately get paid for using clean energy? And then on the second piece is how do you bridge the institutional investors and asset managers? How do you bring them into the space? How do you increase that adoption and create a two-sided market?
Hey guys, thanks for watching. We had a great time here at Consensus. At the Texas Blockchain Council, we are striving to be the nexus between traditional industries, banking, finance, legal, energy, and the digital asset industry. So we want to help you get your brand in front of those kinds of companies with B2B opportunities. Reach out to us if that's of interest for membership or for sponsorship at the summit. Hope to see you there in November in Fort Worth. Thanks again. We look forward to seeing you at the summit.